Hey Noel, I went and read for your description, so we're going to go look at the clip and see what I can spot and see what we can determine is the cause of this over rotation. It's better if you can upload the videos on YouTube, just makes it slightly more convenient, but it's no issue here. So first of all, super powdery, rough takeoff. That's always going to make it more complex. You can see like it's not fully groomed. That's going to go and do some things on gripping your edges. So we'll go and break it down, take into account that it's going to be harder than on a super solid takeoff. So first, let's watch the whole thing. Nice. Now let's go and break it down. So setup carve. I like the timing, slightly too early onto your toe edge. So what I mean by that is you're getting onto your heel edge here, and notice how your board's angled already up at this left corner here. Then you're matching that angle the whole way. So when you leave off the jump, you point it out. That's where the drifting's coming from. Because other than that, you take off straight. You're just doing a little bit of an initial angle of your board. So instead of going straight up the jump, you're angled to the left. What's going to cause a bit of drifting, what is a super common cause of over rotation, is adding a bit of drift in there. So to fix this, go delay your setup carve a little bit. Go and be more patient on your toe edge. Hold that toe edge, hold it, and then like here, start switching and switch a little less aggressive, making sure you're not angling off into that corner. That's super subtle, just a little more patience and calmness on that edge pressure, because it's not too big of a deal, that much of a drift, but it is going to make landing the front fives a lot harder. But what's really the main culprit of this is what's happening in the air. We're going to go and just take this frame by frame because it gets complex. So first of all, you're going and letting your body lag behind a little bit. Not much, you're like holding it through, but I mainly mean here. Notice how you're going and looking down like towards the takeoff. Here you want your head to be leading. To do this, you need to have your arm sort of up so you can be looking up through your shoulder. That's what's going to let you spot to get more control over the air. Because now you're coming to the landing, but you're only really spotting the landing after rotating a full 360. This just isn't much time to go and coordinate yourself. So what I want you to do is get more like extended, not extended, but rotated with that upper body. You don't want to be in this 180 position with your body completely aligned like this. You should be having your upper body opened up, leading the rotation, because that's going to make it so you could spot the landing all the way here if your upper body was rotated a bit more. This is also why you're going and having your legs come get thrown up, because you're going and throwing and you're going and stopping your rotation. Can you see that there? You're going and your rotation sort of does a stop. It's not a fluent motion. Rotating, shifting it, counter-rotating, and that's just going to throw off your whole axis rotation and control. So not a big change, but only change you need to make here is a more subtle takeoff, making sure that you're leaving straighter off the takeoff, going to help with drifting, will give you more control. Letting your upper body lead the rotation a bit more in the air, not off the takeoff, because your upper body is actually leading the takeoff a little bit too much here. You can see you're fully snapped before your board's even left. This is just making it so you're not fully utilizing your strength. So go and delay this whole process, the whole setup, wind up, snap, delivery. And that's going to help you get more power out of your jump, straighter takeoff. And then you need to go and have your upper body leading. You can't let your upper body get caught up and wound up here, because it's just going to make it so you can't spot as long. And that's why you're getting this jank, because you're going in, you can't go and readjust in the air if you don't know how you're coming to the landing. So by having your upper body leave a rotation a little bit more, you'll have a more sense of what's going on, allowing you to make more minute changes. Now let's break down the landing and why this came into a 7. So the biggest reason it over-rotated is the drift, combined with this tail-heavy landing. When you land with your tail first like this, you're not going and fully punching down your momentum, stopping rotation. What's going to cause your rotation to continue. So it's not that you're rotating a 7 here, because your upper body isn't completely finished for rotation. You can see your board's trying to finish rotation, but you're fully not completed of a rotation. So I wouldn't even call this like completely rotated 540. The reason why you're pivoting is that drift combined with that tail pressure sets your weight over your back foot, making it so that you go and butter over around. So this isn't an over rotation problem. This is a not stopping and fully killing your momentum, getting into the landing, hitting the two-footed landing. That's why you're continuing to spin, because you don't have things in place that will let you go and stop it. I'll just demonstrate a little bit of what I mean right here. So when you're rotating your front five right now, you're rotating 180, getting stuck here, and then trying to continue rotation, spotting around 360, and then you're coming in, still stacked, let's make you land tail heavy. So when you land tail heavy, your momentum won't be killed and your weight set over here. What happens when your weight set over your tail? It continues the spin, right? I'll demonstrate this after your foot this time. So what you want to be doing is popping up, more connected, continuing it at 180. Don't be like stacked, connected, looking down. Instead, take your head and pull it under your arm. So at 270, boom, you see the landing? This will let you go and pull in, pulling your shoulder into the landing, let you get down to both of your feet. And that's going to be really important because it's about axis of rotation. If you try to do a front seven with your current axis of rotation, it's going to come in super like tail heavy like this, right? So you need to go and be getting up 180, holding into it, bringing it down, and this will go and put you in the vortex in the powerful position that will let you go and control your rotation. 5, taking to 7 if you want, and that will give you the flexibility. It's easier to get control out of your jumps when you're not drifting. So by going and cleaning up that takeoff, making sure you're not wasting energy by throwing your extension a little bit too soon, and having a straighter takeoff, it'll be more flat in the air, less drift, allowing you to control your rotation, feel more comfortable, letting you spot sooner and pull into the landing. A lot of those things are in place, but just slight disconnect. So slight mistiming on your takeoff, slight disconnect, letting yourself get held up on the spin, slight amount of drift going in, making it so you're pulling across, and slight bit off axis, causing you to land your tail. These are all going to be fixed by your takeoff, making sure you're in more fluid of motion and pulling your body through to pull into that landing. Front fives are a really challenging trick to just snap and forget. You really need to actively snap it, pop it, and then pull into it, pulling your shoulder down. Because the front five is the hardest landing snowboarding because it just feels so uncomfortable. So you need to go and build that comfortability, bring it all together, and that will help you go and land 2 feet. Once you can do a front five, landing both feet without sputtering out or landing heels, you'll know that you have the power to then translate to a 7. But good work, man. Keep it up and let me know if you need any more help.